Mods are finally here for PS5 users, and today I've compiled a list of some of the best servers for console players with optimization and storage limits in mind. Where there's not so many mods, it hurts the gameplay experience, but you can still tell you're definitely not on base game Arma Reforger. And these are some of the servers that I've heard from my fellow console players that are on Xbox that are pretty decently optimized, and I've played them as well, and they run very consistently on PC also. So make sure you guys take a look at all these servers. I'm going to keep storage and optimization in mind with not too many crazy things going on, and I will make some honorable mentions, but just be aware some of the honorable mentions might have a little bit more storage than you want to really download, as well as they might have some crazy events that might throw off your console. But if you're looking for a unique experience, you might be able to run these servers mildly well and maybe crash only every once in a while. But hey, I'm going to show you the best optimized servers first, and then the honorable mentions will be less optimal for console, let's say. Yeah, and we're probably just going to be focusing on PvP today. If you guys have any PvE suggestions, my fellow console players, then let me know down below. I haven't gotten Arma Reforger on console, so I don't know if the PvE servers run well, but I know these run well because they run well on my PC, and my console friends recommended them to me, so try these out. Now, the first server we're going to be talking about today isn't essentially number one, but I would say it's one of the more lower storage ones and probably one of the better running servers on Arma Reforger when it comes to modded Arma Reforger, and that's going to be the Arma Conflict servers. They have both Vietnam and insurgency combat, which means you can fight in Iraq or in Vietnam with Vietnam-era weapons. It's pretty cool. I definitely enjoy these servers, just not my personal, I guess you could say niche. I enjoy a lot of NVGs and lasers and weapons and stuff. And I'm just a NATO Barbie at the end of the day. But these are nice servers. I highly recommend them. They run really well due to the lower amount of detail, but they do run very consistent, and I've heard console players really enjoy these servers because low storage, good optimization, good combat, lots of fun. Now again, one of the most ridiculously popular servers on Arma Reforger will be WCS, and I have to include them on this list because they don't really have the most storage take up. Also, a lot of other servers use WCS assets, so you'll have them downloaded anyway. So I highly recommend just tuning into this server, but there are better options, as honestly, when this update drops for PlayStation players to get modded servers, you're probably not going to be able to get into a WCS server because right now all the server queues are very high and it takes 30 to 40 minutes to get into one game. So I will highly recommend these alternatives that use pretty much all of the same assets and have roughly the same combat and use their same map layouts as well, and these are those servers. One of them being the unnamed servers, another one being Target Rich Environment, and then another one being Rangers 75th Pub 6. They do use a lot of the WCS assets in there, and it runs very smooth, and I can also use a UDR 556 on Russia, and I just prefer that server because of that, simply because of that. So Pub 6 is a lot of fun for the 75th Ranger Regiment. They do switch maps more often than the other servers I mentioned as well, so Pub 6 from there might be a better option for you if you like some diversity as well. Recommend you favorite all of them. They all use pretty much the same mods, so you can switch between those servers when the other ones are full and pretty much get a similar experience to what you want. Alrighty, I pretty much just named 5 servers for you guys already. If you count those last 4 as different servers, I would personally say that WCS, Pub 6 from 75th Ranger Regiment, Unnamed, and TRE are pretty much the same as far as gameplay experience and weapon choice goes, with it being somewhat limited. So now the servers I'm getting into, I will warn you, will have a lot more storage probably take up, but will be very, very cool to customize weapons, have unique attachments and weapons you haven't seen in other servers, and a lot more freedom of customization, which might be a little bit of a headache to get down on controller, but trust me, it's worth it. We're going to start with one of the more unknown servers on this list, I will say, is the US Civil War servers. I actually really had a good time in here, and I'm glad I waited a little bit to edit this video, as I'm doing it the night before PlayStation's going to get mods, but they've recently changed the map to Yellowstone National Park, which really helps with the immersion of the Civil War theme of the server. It's very cool. It might be a little bit more difficult to POI since everybody somewhat looks similar, but they had a very large pool of diverse and unique weapons that I haven't seen in many other servers, so that was pretty cool to see, and I definitely would recommend it as giving it a try. The map is super dope, and I can't wait to get a fully seated game in on this server, because even with 20 people, it just felt like the map paced itself really well. We were getting into fights actually with only 20 people in total on the server, and you can have up to 128, and I love jungle warfare, so this is by far probably going to be one of my favorite servers once we're actually able to get it seated, and I recommend trying it as soon as possible before it gets popular, because there's only so many US home front kind of themed servers, on top of the fact that there's only one of these servers. So make sure you get in on it before this queue starts filling up and then you can't get in anymore, because PlayStation players will bring a lot of new players to the modded community. Now, I have to mention OPR Fargo, man. That's the next server on this list. There's no order on this list either. I enjoy all of these servers, probably OPR being my #1 right now, as well as Darkgrew, which don't know if I'm gonna put on this list because it seems like the customization could be rather difficult, but I will put them in there as an honorable mention, so we'll talk about that a little bit later. But OPR Fargo is definitely my go-to server right now. It switches a little bit every now and then between OPR and Darkgrew, but OPR has just been hitting it on the head when it comes to urban and trench combat balance. I've been having a wonderful time. The weapons in there are very cool. They do have the canted aim, which on controller is going to be LB and RB for you guys, the top bumpers at the same time. That's going to canted aim. This server is insane. Highly recommend it. A little bit high on the storage take up, but a lot of the servers you might have already downloaded will be using a lot of the similar base core assets, and I believe this server shares a lot of assets with the next server we're going to be talking about right now, which is Spearhead. Spearhead has probably the best urban combat when it comes to Avdika. I really enjoy that server for that, and I need to play it a little bit more, as well as they have a very interesting mod with their helmet cam. Now, it's a little bit interesting currently how it works. I think for some reason it takes your aim sensitivity and uses that overall. You can't zoom in, which makes it a little bit harder to use, but I really enjoy this helmet cam mod. It's very cool and it's very fun to use on this server, and I think Spearhead has some of the best urban combat in the game right now, with OPR Fargo definitely running the trench warfare scene in my personal opinion. Alrighty guys, I hope this list helps you get your console modded journey started over there on PlayStation, and other Xbox users that may have not known about some of these servers, go ahead and try them out. I tried to use servers that were under 15 to 17 gigabytes worth of downloads. I know Border Wars is probably one of my favorite servers and has really unique experiences, so that would be an honorable mention on top of Darkgrew, which you guys see in the background. I just think Darkgrew can be kind of confusing to set up with a controller sometimes, but they have pretty decent servers. They run well optimization wise, but I know they have a lot of their own assets and things like that in those servers that aren't run on a lot of other ones, which could lead to a lot of downloaded things. If you guys ever have any problems with mods, I highly suggest you head over to the workshop, look up that mod, delete it, and re-download it. That'll help you guys out a lot on your modded journey. I hope this video helps you find some servers that have a lot of the same mods, so you can have different experiences and alternatives, as the servers today are probably going to be extremely full. We're going to be on stream all day as well if you guys want to tune in over on YouTube. Actually, you could probably just click my logo and that'll bring you to the live stream. So you guys are more than welcome to join the server that I'm playing in, and I love playing with viewers, and maybe we'll make a video today as well, man. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. I hope this has helped y'all out. I'll see you guys in the next one, and I'm out. Peace.